Please ignore the adorable mountain lions. They have nothing to do with the story with the article I'm about to read. Although it is funny because where my last few videos have been kind of like negative, it's not been like good stuff. It's been like bad things. This is a good thing, and it's funny that on top of this being a good thing, that's a good thing. I'm not fucking with the soundboard this time either. Um, but also there's this video of adorable mountain lion cubs, which there's apparently an error code. But anyway, yeah, ICE has made 11,000 arrests of illegals in just 18 days, forcing the agency to take over 4 federal prisons. We have all those FEMA camps that were built that are empty. We should probably use those to store all these migrants. Um, and then there's like islands, like empty islands, like private islands that are for sale. I'm sure like the U.S. government could easily just buy a couple of those and have us our own little penal colony. You got to build these things, just dump them off there. Just do occasional supply drops. Let them just kind of Mad Max that shit. But yeah, shout out to the New York Post, the based New York Post, um, whose article I'm reading today covering this. Like I said, this seemed like good news, and my last few videos were kind of like bad news. So like, let's try bring a little levity back. Let's see here. Let me close that. All right. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents arrested around 11,000 illegal migrants in the first 18 days of the Trump administration, which is already a third of the total bust the agency made last year under former President Joe Biden. So in just 2 weeks, well, 2 weeks and 4 days. So they have arrested 1/3 of the number that ICE arrested in an entire year of the Biden administration. So if they could keep these numbers up, it's gonna be nutty. The arrests, part of President Trump's mass deportation offensive, uh, collared a previously deported Mexican cartel hitman, according to Department of Homeland Security sources. ICE agents in the Rio Grande Valley. In Rio Grande Valley, Texas, nabbed Fernando Vasquez Mendoza, who was identified as a hired killer working for Cartel de Golfo, or the Gulf Cartel, a Mexican drug trafficking organization and criminal syndicate. They operate out of the Gulf of America. ICE agents in the Rio Grande. Or I already read that. My bad. Um, it is unclear when Vasquez Mendoza was previously deported or when he snuck back into the U.S. The federal immigration authorities also arrested several members of the vicious Venezuelan prison gang Tren de Aragua and multiple child sex offenders, according to sources. Yeah, I covered Tren de Aragua in one of my old videos, where a bunch of them had kind of gathered on the Mexico side of the southern border and were actually attacking Border Patrol. So they're not happy about this. Which, of course, they wouldn't be because, they make a lot of money trafficking people into the United States. They make a lot of money trafficking drugs in the United States, and we seem to be trying to put the kibosh on that. So no, it stands to reason they would not be happy about this at all. One of Tren de Aragua gangbangers captured in New York, Christian Jose Concepcion uh, Manrique, snuck across the border into El Paso in December and has a prior criminal conviction for assault. ICE made 33,000 arrests last year in total, DHS sources said. The staggering uptick in busts means ICE has had to scramble to find more space to detain the illegal migrants targeted by Trump's major crackdown. The agency was expected to open 4 detention facilities Friday, operated by the Bureau of Prisons, to expand bed space, a high level ICE source told the Post. Yep. And I mean, I'm sure it's like hell inside these prisons. Like, crowded prisons is its own kind of like hell. But you kind of reap what you sow. Don't sneak into a country illegally if you don't want this shit to happen to you. Uh, it's kind of like Brittany Griner a couple years ago with Biden, trading Victor Boot to get her back, the Merchant of Death. This idea that like, oh no, Americans are in prison. Yeah, well, she broke the laws in Russia. She was sneaking weed. She snuck weed into Russia. Like, I'm sorry, but not sorry. I don't feel fucking bad for you because you got caught breaking another country's laws while you were inside another country. She wasn't even there illegally. She was there to play basketball, and she still just couldn't respect Russians' like customs and cultural norms enough. She deserved to do time. Like, obviously, here in the United States, I don't think people should go to prison for having marijuana, but this is the United States. That's Russia. Don't, like, when in Rome, do as the Romans. Don't go to Russia and break laws. Don't come to the United States and break laws. It's pretty simple if you don't want to end up in prison. The agency currently has the funds to hold 41,500 detainees, but it is already burning well over that to the tune of several $100 million, the sources said. The plan to expand detention space for illegal migrants has been in the works since November, they added. Some of the challenges associated with that have been the fact that we weren't able to do all that much prior to the Trump administration, the ICE source said. And it makes sense. They can't do much until Trump actually takes office and is giving official orders. But again, it's probably because they're not ICE facilities, they're FEMA facilities, but there are all those empty FEMA camps that were made for natural disasters, for people to stay during natural disasters. Famously people like got video footage of them and talked about how they're concentration camps for the incoming, when the UN's forces come to the United States to suppress the US uprising and all this like dumb conspiracy theory shit that people talked about years ago. Just put them there. Put them there. And then I reckon all of the detainee facilities along the border are probably all the border patrol facilities are probably all full too. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. Uh, I guess we need. I would suggest that rather than try to figure out. I mean, we do need to figure out the holding facility thing where we're going to keep these people, but we also need to ramp up the speed of deportations. We also really need to like ramp that up. Um, and that would kind of like if we get them flowing out of the country, they won't need a lot of. They still need more space because we're planning on arresting like a whole bunch of illegals, but the amount of space you would need would be reduced if you can get a steady flow of getting them out of the country. And again, penal colonies. How about that? Buy up a couple private islands, buy Little St. James, you know, put some mines around it, and some Coast Guard boats, you know, and just dump them off on the island. Like I said, they don't even need a building to stay in. They don't even need cells. Just good luck, good luck and Godspeed, criminal South American or Central American or Mexican or wherever the hell you are. But that's for the actual criminals, I guess. But still, penal colony probably also wouldn't be a bad idea, just like I said, for the temporary holding for illegals. It's like you can have one for people who don't necessarily have criminal records outside of the illegal entry or overstayed visa. It's just like, look, you get to live on a tropical island for like a couple weeks, maybe a couple months while we, deport you to your nation of origin. Um, yeah. So just I'm offering like potential solutions. I don't want to just complain. I want to say, I want to also offer kind of my opinion on solutions because it's like it's easy to complain, but offering solutions, I think people should be willing to do that more. It's like even though a lot of the solutions, because I'm not like an expert in this stuff, a lot of these I'm sure somebody who is could sit down and tell me why that's a stupid fucking idea. But I'm saying it's not just like I'm sitting here bitching into a vacuum. Quote, while we were planning for this, it takes a while to turn these things on, they explained. The ICE source who reported for this article, or who talked for this article. It's unclear which prison facilities ICE will utilize and how many more beds it will provide. The Trump administration has already squeezed more space from the Pentagon, flying some of the most dangerous illegal migrants to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. That's probably a good fucking idea. And I have been that liar who I tried to get on this video with me, but he is gay. Um, why is he gay? Who says he is gay? He is gay. But like a lot of these guys who are convicted murderers or sex offenders, I don't think we should deport them. I think we should just execute them. Just execute them and dump their body into a mass grave. You don't get to go home. You get to go to hell. Um, especially if we can substantiate that they actually assaulted or murdered an American citizen. In which case, yeah, no, you know, and like they get like a modicum of due process just to make sure we're not butchering innocent people, but like they're not American citizens, so they don't get the full Monty. They don't get the full jury of their peers because I'm sorry, Venezuelan prison gang member, you're not my peer. You're a savage from a savage culture. You're lucky you even get the modicum of due process I'm willing to give you. Let's like this picture of this guy. Ice Age just nabbed hired assassin Fernando Vasquez Mendoza, who is working for Cartel de Golfo in Rio Grande Valley, Texas. Yeah, this guy's like this guy right here. If we can't substantiate that he actually is a hired murderer, and we know for a fact that he did it, we don't need to deport him. We don't need to keep him in prison for life. Just execute him. Why are we wasting time and resources? Just take him into an ICE facility, stand him before a judge and a prosecutor. He's read out the charges against him. He's shown the evidence against him. He's allowed to speak on his own behalf, and then he's taken into another room and hanged by the neck until dead. And then like I said, mass grave. Guantanamo Bay has traditionally been used to house foreign terrorists captured by the U.S., but has always had room, about 120 beds, to house migrants caught trying to sneak into the U.S. through the Gulf of Mexico. President Trump plans to expand Guantanamo Bay's capacity to hold illegal migrants, signing an order on January 29th directing the Pentagon and the Department of Homeland Security to prepare the naval base for 30,000 detainees. ICE is also getting some support from state and local law enforcement agencies who are willing to take in illegal migrants through the agency's 287G program, which deputizes local authorities to hold illegal migrants in their jails on behalf of ICE. I wonder if they get anything for doing that, like some kind of like federal funding or something. Like, hey, if you get X number of dollars for holding X number of criminal migrants. This picture. Several Tren de Aragua members have also been arrested, including Christian Jose Concepcion Manrique, who snuck across the border in El Paso in December and was previously convicted of assault. Yep, execution. Summary execution. It's like you committed assault, we caught you, we deported you, you snuck back in and we caught you again. Just nope, hanged by the neck until dead. If Liar was here, he'd say knife to the neck because it's faster. But like I said, it's the Brit in me, I want to do things the British way. Hanged by the neck until dead. A short drop and a sudden stop. The level of support that we're getting from our 287G program and our state and local partners has been incredible. We'd also love to kind of piggyback on that, not only in the enforcement realm, but for the bed space, the source said. The Trump administration is also gearing up to restart family detention, which ended under Biden administration. Will reopen a previously shuttered facility. The source ad. Yes, yep, because your babies get to go with you, assuming you're not a criminal outside of the initial crime of sneaking in and living in the country illegally, assuming that all you've done here is work and mostly keep your nose clean, then yeah, you're not going to go to prison. We're just going to send you back to your home, but your kids are going with you. Like, we're not. I agree. We shouldn't break up families. We should imprison all the illegals, their children included, and then ship them out together. Because seriously, the family that illegally migrates together can, be deported together. But yeah, short article, short video. Well, not even the show. I think my EMM video from yesterday was shorter than this. But anyway, you know the drill at this point. Like the video and subscribe and follow the links in the description and subscribe to all my alternate channels. And come to Rumble where I stream video games, which I haven't done in a few days, but I'm gonna get back to it. But yeah, throw me a bone.